It's block of the month for March, and we are going to be working on the Magic 8 method. I'm really excited to show you this, and it's going to contribute to the outside circle of the blocks that we worked on in January and in February. Okay, so this is what you need. You're using a fat quarter set, so once you use these 3 fabrics, and then of course the white, you're using up a big chunk of your fat quarter, but these are your dimensions. Of course, you can pick them up in the Carina Gardner store. Okay, so once you've cut out these large blocks, and there's not a lot of them, so it's minimal cutting here, we're going to set it up for your Magic 8. So the number one thing you have to do is you first have to turn them upside down, and you can decide to use either, you know what, let's use the white, because that way you guys can see it a little better. I'm going to move these 3 fabric pieces out of the way, and you're going to need a pencil and a ruler, and I'm going to place one of these white blocks in my center area right here. Okay. Once you have it centered out, you're just going to lay down the ruler and set it up diagonally, and you're going to use your pencil to draw a line all the way across. Okay, so that's your first line. Your second line is going to be the opposite diagonal. Okay, so we're going to use our pencil to make a pencil line all the way across. So once you've done that to one of these, you're going to do them to the rest of them. So I'm going to do that right now. All right, so this is where the gorgeous, lovely Magic 8 method works. So we're going to place this one at the bottom, and I'm going to place my white piece on top, just like that. And you can pin this into place if you want, and we're going to sew on either side of these lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move all my stuff out of my way. Hopefully you're not working in such a small space. And move my sewing machine into place. I'm just going to put it here on top of my mat. Okay, so this is actually really quick. We're just going to make sure everything's pretty lined up. And listen, guess what? If it's not perfect, that is okay. I kind of see a lot of people get caught up in the perfection of their quilting, and I have made sure that there's a lot of extra in here so you can trim them down so you don't have the issue of not having enough fabric, and making sure that your dimensions are going to be good. So we're going to trim them down, so don't even worry about it. Okay, one side done. I'm going to go ahead and do the opposite side of the line this time before I do the other side. Okay, one side done. You can see that there are seam lines. You probably can see them better. I'm not sure on the white or on the pink, but there are seam lines on, not seam lines, there are sewing lines on either side of those. So now we're going to do the opposite side, and sometimes this is easier if you do pin it, just so that you don't kind of make any crinkles. I'm not going to, not because I'm an expert, but because I'm videotaping this. Okay, so one last one. Okay, so you're going to do this to all of them. So you can see how beautifully that turned out. We're going to cut it in a second. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of these out. So let's take care of that real quick right here. Okay, so I have finished all of these, and if you would like, you can press them down and get them nice and clean. And now I'm going to show you where the Magic 8 part comes in. This is the most amazing part. Moving that out of the way, flipping it off. Okay, so you're going to need a ruler for it, and you are going to place this in the center of your mat. Okay, so getting rid of my pencil, you're going to take your rotary cutter, and I'm just going to kind of find where the middle of those two sew lines are, and I'm first going to cut across those sew lines, and then I'm going to cut it across on this way as well. And guess what? If they don't line up, it is okay, because we're going to trim these blocks down. Okay, those are your first two cuts. Your second two cuts are going to be on that pencil line that you created, okay? So we're going to cut all the way down on this side, and then we're going to cut all the way down on the opposite side. And this really does feel like magic, because once you open one of these up, ta-da! We suddenly have 8 of these half triangle squares. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish cutting all of these pieces, and then I'm going to press these all flat and open. Okay, so here's the last one that needs to be pressed open. I pressed them all so that they are going towards the fabric side. The seam is going towards the fabric side, not the white side of the triangle. And now I have a pretty little stack of open squares. Now, here's the deal. You actually made 4 extra. So for me, that is my pink. So I'm going to have 4 extra of the pink. So I'm just going to get rid of them by throwing them over there. I guess I could have thrown them in the air. But then I have 3 of the pink here, or 4 of the pink here. And then I have 2 sets of 8 aquas with the white. Now, I did this on purpose. I chose 2 aquas because they're going all the way around, and I really wanted the top and bottom to be one and the horizontal sides to match up as well. So this is what you're going to do, and this is the very much not fun part, in my opinion. Maybe you love trimming things. We have to trim all of these down to the correct size. And we also have to get rid of all these little, I don't even know what you call them, but little bits and ends of the seam sticking out. So I am going to go through right now real quick and trim them all down to the correct size, and then they'll all be perfectly matched up. Once you've trimmed them all down, you're going to do your layout, and it's going to be a little, almost, it's not a scallop, I don't know what you call it, but they're going to be laid out like this. And I'll lay the entire thing out so you can see how to sew them together at that point and how to get them all lined up around your center block. Okay, so now that I have trimmed up all of my squares, you can see how pretty they are. We are just going to lay them out, and you can see I have this big pile of scraps, gorgeous scraps. And we are going to lay it out so that we have a point in the middle. So I'm going to do it towards you guys. So a little point in the middle. And then I'm going to do it so there's a point down at the bottom. And then, I'm doing this upside down, guys. So this is the layout you're going to use. And then with my pink, which are my cornerstone pieces, we're going to have it facing out and facing out this way, okay? So that's one line. So I'm going to repeat that and do that on the opposite side here. And then with the other aqua blue ones, we're going to do this exact same thing. It's just going to be 4, okay, but along the edge. So what you can do is I'm just going to sew these together right now so you can kind of see. I wish I had more tables so that you guys could see it a little bit better, but just use the download that I have provided for you so that you are good to go. I'm just going to do one of these so that you guys can get a feel for how it's supposed to lay out. And just this last one. And there's not room. Okay, I'm going to sew this together, and I'm going to sew this together, and maybe even get these done. And then I'm going to show you how we add them to the main piece that we worked on in January and February, so you know how to put it together from there. Okay, so This is going to be the top piece. So I'm going to sew together all the side pieces and another one of these, and then I'm going to show you how to put the rest of it together. Okay, so I finished ironing all of these and sewing them. I have 2 pieces that look like this, and I have 2 pieces that look like this, okay? And they are going to go around our center piece. Remember this, guys? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by sewing this one to, I'm going to grab this little string off here. I'm going to sew this one to this main middle block, okay? I'll just show you guys that. There you go. Let's do the opposite side. Okay, that was my final side, guys. It does need to be pressed, but that's what it should look like when you're done. Look how great that looks. That's a really fun center. So that's it. That's all for March. I know it was like kind of a lot of pieces to work with, but now you have a great center. I can't wait to see you in April. Make sure and go take care of that download so that you have all the pieces, and I'll see you next month.